Hello and welcome to Inside Line. I'm Stephen Otley and I'm joined this week by fellow drive rider Andrew McLean. Now this week we'll take a look at the stars of the Geneva Motor Show, Mark Webber's new high-tech racer and Volvo's V8 surprise. But first it's time for our internet burnout. And this week we learn a valuable lesson: don't try and tow a car with a bus. Probably an obvious lesson though.
So towing a car, clearly it's better to have someone in the car to start with. I think that's their biggest problems.
Also probably a good idea to have the tow vehicle's driver aware that you're trying to tow.
Yeah, and not tow it in front of parked cars.
Now, on to the biggest automotive event of the week, the Geneva Motor Show. As expected, it has been an extravaganza of new cars of all shapes and sizes. Now, what's your favourite, Andrew?
Well, like Geneva always does, there's some weird and wacky stuff, but there's also some small cars that are really significant to Australia and some crazy concepts coming in the future in terms of sports cars. Mazda has obviously chosen it to showcase the new Mazda 2 in a concept car called Hazumi.
Thinly veiled concept car.
Thinly veiled,
I think we're going to assume.
Yeah, it'll pretty much look like that. Strip away the big wheels and the sort of slimline mirrors, but that's a significant car for them. And Jeep has done the smallest car that it's ever produced in the Renegade, which a little boxy baby one that's sort of taking some cues from the original Jeep, the Overland Willy.
Yeah, again, you know, this booming baby SUV segment. I guess at the other end of the spectrum, Maserati held the Alfieri concept, which is like their preview of a new two-seat sports car, getting back into the hardcore sports car market, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, stunning looking car. It's basically their 100th birthday present to themselves. It's actually a 2+2 coupe, but it's shorter than the Gran Turismo that it's based on. Still uses the 4.7 litre naturally aspirated engine, but I assume that the production car will have the new twin-turbo V8 or V6 that's in the Ghibli and Quattroporte. And
there's some other stuff. Audi's obviously seen what Mercedes has done with the AMG A45 with their big grunt 2-litre turbo, and they've had a crack at it themselves.
Yeah, they've gone one better, and they've said, no, you can't produce the world's most powerful 4-cylinder engine, and they've previewed basically what we think is the next generation TTRS, but with a 4-cylinder rather than a 5-cylinder engine.
It's a bit of a shame though, because I did love that 5-cylinder engine.
It was full of character and obviously a unique exhaust note, but this thing produces 309 kilowatts out of a 2-litre engine.
Now, still on Geneva, and one of the most important cars for Australians was also revealed, but it won't ever come here. It's Mark Webber's new Porsche 919 hybrid race car. That's a pretty advanced bit of gear, isn't it?
Yeah, now this is significant in a number of reasons. Now, Porsche actually displayed only race cars on its Geneva stand, not one of its road cars, because this opens a new chapter in its history, returning to Le Mans, the race that it's dominated, in a new era of racing based on electric propulsion. That's a hybrid race car.
That's a bit different, isn't it? Because their rivals Audi has got a V6 turbo diesel. Toyota's going to have a big V8 that they had last year. So I guess obviously Porsche knows what they're doing, and they think, they're going to, rely more on the electric units that they've got, both that work on the brake and the exhaust gas. Yeah,
and this is the great thing about the new Le Mans rules. It's basically an energy formula, so it opens up the options for all these different car manufacturers to basically target how it believes it can use that dedicated amount of energy best, and Porsche has gone for a small turbocharged petrol engine in a V4 configuration, which obviously makes it more compact, and with an energy recuperation system from the brakes and the turbocharger with the exhaust gases.
By, like you say, having this energy-based formula, it allows these big car companies to experiment with technology that we'll eventually see on road cars.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever see a V4 cylinder engine in a Porsche, but it's obviously technology that they believe can be translated into a production future.
Yeah, well, let's hope it does some winning.
Yeah.
Now, still on the racetrack, and it's safe to say Volvo shocked the V8 supercar establishment with its strong debut at the Adelaide Street Race last weekend. The Swedish brand's young Kiwi driver Scott McLaughlin scored a second-place finish in the second race of the weekend. That was an amazing debut, wasn't it?
It was a real surprise, considering both Mercedes-Benz and Nissan entered the sport last year and probably underachieved what they expected. And Volvo being a much smaller operation, we didn't expect much more from them, but they really came out strong.
Yeah, I mean, it was a result achieved, on genuine pace. They had it pace in qualifying and speed in the race, and, it was an impressive effort from not only Volvo here with the Gary Rogers team, but also Polestar, the Swedish racing team that, works with Volvo in Sweden.
Yeah, and they've obviously still got some teething problems, and reliability obviously didn't work in their favour, but that end of the second race where, Scott literally, that last lap with Jamie Whincup, 5-time champion, that was a cracking end to a race, and one that we haven't seen for a long time in that much excitement.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting times for Volvo with this Polestar brand, you know, with this performance arm. You know, we both have driven their S60 Polestar road car, and, you know, I got to drive the updated one on the weekend, and, you know, what they've done is take lessons that they learnt from that one that they released last year. You know, there was some criticism of the brakes, so they went away and they fixed the brakes. They put big Brembos on it to try and fix that. So I guess it shows that, you know, there's potentially a big future for performance Volvos.
Well, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, they're in it to have some sort of rub-off effect with their V8 supercar program and generate some excitement. They've got the road cars to do it, and we'll see how that pans out in the next couple of years.
Yeah. Be cool stuff. Now, that's it for Inside Line this week. For our full Geneva show coverage, check out our microsite on screen now. And for all your other motoring news, reviews and videos, visit drive.com.au. Thanks for watching.